Kush and Chemtrails, the world's most dangerous podcast.
It is out of control, and we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
So do you mind if I fucking take you guys on a gosh darn trip?
Of course we don't.
Let's
bro.
go, man.
That's what we're here for.
You guys want a trip?
Hey,
let's go. Trip on this. Yeah.
Let's get trippy.
Nobody should be asked to handle this trip.
That's some heavy shit.
When you were tripping.
All right, guys. I got something pretty cool here. So, this has to do with calendar. So, this one's called the Sol Calendar. S-O-L. Sol.
Got soul.
Yeah. Like Spanish for sun. And it's the 13-month Sol Calendar is a proposal for calendar reform by Jim Eichner of Austin, Texas, providing for a year of 13 months in length with 12 contiguous CONTIGUOUS. Look that up. Leave comments. Tell me how to pronounce it. Months having 28 days each, with the final month of the year, December, having 29. December would have 30 days in leap years. The months are named the same as they are in the Gregorian calendar, except a month called Sol is inserted between June and July.
That's interesting. I've seen, if I haven't seen this one particularly, I've seen similar offerings, because they're always trying to fix that damn leap year thing, you know what I mean? Because I remember we did a piece on time,
Yeah.
and I kind of got into some of the history of the Gregorian calendar, because it's something that people don't even think about, bro. They just assume that it just always been that.
Me too.
Know? Yeah.
I did, until you brought it to my attention, and I was like, wow, they changed this shit in the 1500s? That's crazy. We were on some whole other shit. And excuse me, I think it was Pope Gregory.
And people still do acknowledge
That's
their
why it's
own
Gregorian.
calendars, though, too. Like the Chinese still are on their own calendar.
Yeah, I
That's
think
why
the
their New
fucking-
Year's is different.
I think the Jews are on a different
Exactly. I was going to say that, because remember
calendar.
when I went to the Hebrew, the
Oh, yeah.
Passover event?
Yeah.
They have their own calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so their New Year's was in spring,
Oh,
which
yeah.
made more sense, because that's what they said. They was like, wouldn't the New Year be when new
For
life?
sure.
And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Makes more sense.
Not in winter.
Absolutely. 100%. So there's another one, bro, and this one really was cool. It's called the International Fixed Calendar, and this was from the early 20th century. It was presented in 1902 by a guy named Moses Cotsworth. Cotsworth. You know what's great about the end of every episode? I'm starting to slur my goddamn words, baby.
It's
working.
working.
It's working. So what I wanted to say was, this is a solar calendar, and all these calendars are either solar or lunar.
Okay,
So
yeah.
these different ones that we're talking about, and we've talked about the energy. Solar is masculine, lunar is feminine. So that means a lot. And of course, each celestial body, whatever the fuck they are, luminaries, so many goddamn theories, I don't know what to say anymore. Whatever they are,
Wandering.
they have their own cycle. Exactly.
Yeah.
Rogue planets. On the next Cushion Chemtrails, we solve something else before anyone else. So this one says, so it's the 13 months, 28 days each. It's a type of perennial calendar. Every date is fixed to the same weekday every year. Though never officially adopted in any country, entrepreneur George Eastman applied it at Eastman Kodak Company, where it was used from 1928 to 1989. Kodak, the film company, bro. They used that shit for 61 fucking years, dude. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. So
That
there's-
fool was like, I'm going to use my own calendar.
Exactly.
Fuck what everybody else doing.
So I found a couple other ones, and then I want to get back into that one, the International Fixed Calendar. But first, I want to go through these. So this one, I kept pronouncing it wrong. I was like, why is this one called the Gregorian Calendar too? But what's it say? The Georgian.
Georgian, yeah.
I kept saying Gregorian. I was like,
your
why?
brain just finished.
Yeah,
it for
I was
you,
like,
yeah.
why does it keep saying Gregorian?
No
What
lie,
are
I
they
thought it
talking
did
about?
too.
Yeah. So the Georgian calendar was proposed in 1745 by Reverend Hugh Jones, an American colonist from Maryland. The author named the plan in the 13th month after King George II of Great Britain. The 365th day each year was to be set aside as Christmas. The treatment of leap year varied from the Gregorian rule, however, and the year would begin closer to the winter solstice. In a later version of the plan, published in 1753, the 13 months were all renamed for Christian saints.
What a big undertaking, bro. Like, we all have ideas in life of how we want to leave our mark on this world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These fools are like, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to
And to
propose
name
a
'em-
new calendar, bro.
And name them all after Christian saints. What if they were named after Chi-Town pimps? Fool? They were like, hey, man, happy Fluky Stokes. Happy 4th of Fluky, man. Happy 4th of Fluky. Right?
Man.
Yeah. Now we're potting, baby. Now
Yes,
we're potting.
We are.
So, another calendar, bro. This one proposed by, I hope I get this right, man. I don't want his descendants to be
I
pissed.
don't want to butcher it.
Auguste Comte. Last name Comte. Look it up yourself, please. In 1849, he's a French philosopher. He proposes a 13-month positivist calendar. I guess that was some sort of religion, the positivist. Sounds pretty positive.
Does.
And he names them after some interesting folks: Moses, Homer, Aristotle, Archimedes, Caesar, St. Paul, Charlemagne, Dante, Gutenberg, Shakespeare, Descartes, Frederick, and Bichat.
Talking about Charlemagne the God.
Picture how smart we used to be that they thought we were going to call our months those names.
Right.
Like,
What's today, bro? Shakespeare 27.
like, golly, bro.
Oh wow! It's already Shakespeare. God, the year flew by. I mean, just yesterday it was Descartes, and now it's Shakespeare. This is insane. You're just like, what?
Those people were brilliant, bro.
Crazy.
I want to live in that world. Shit.
You know? So it goes back. I want to talk about this international fixed calendar again real quick because I thought this was really cool, dude. To promote Cotsworth's calendar reform, the International Fixed Calendar League was founded in 1923, just after the plan was selected by the League of Nations as the best of 130 calendar proposals. So the League of Nations was what the United Nations used to be called.
So there was a contest.
Yeah.
130 proposals.
And they
Shit.
picked this one in 1923. Like, yeah, this is the fucking one. So then 14 years later, it says right here, the International Fixed Calendar League ceased operation shortly after the calendar plan failed to win approval of the League of Nations in 1937. So I was wondering, because it was adopted by Kodak in that time, and they used it for so long, was there other institutions or people that adopted it during that time too? That's 14 years before they said, fuck it, we don't want to use this. And that's crazy to think that from 1923 like my grandparents were alive then, bro. They may have been using a different calendar and just never told me about it. I didn't talk to my fucking grandparents about calendars, you know?
Right. Because you never feel the need to.
Yeah. So here is the 13-month calendar, bro. There's a picture of it right there. That's them promoting it to people. It mentions the International Fixed Calendar League down there at the bottom. It says 1 Regent Street. London, of course. London, Rome, and D.C. Figure it out. And here's the next one, dude. The Ethiopian calendar consists of 13 months where the first 12 months have 30 days each. The 13th month has 5 days in a common year and 6 days in a leap year. Solar calendar based on the solar year. So they're still using a calendar they got from the Romans, which is what they were using before it was changed to the Gregorian calendar. So they're still using that. And that's this one. It's called the Julian calendar.
Julian, yeah.
It was proposed by Julius Caesar in 46 BC. And it was used until 1582 when, like you said, the Gregorian calendar was put forth by Pope Gregory the 13th. So they still use that.
Been rocking ever since.
And then prior to that, they used this, the legendary 10-month calendar. It was 10 months each of 30 or 31 days. Crazy, right? 304 days made up exactly 38 nundinal cycles, Nundinal, and that was 38. That was their weeks of work. So 38 of their cycles of work made up exactly 348 days, or excuse me, 304 days rather. Excuse me. So, what got me going on this was this post, and how cool is this? That's why I wanted to save it for last, dude. What's that say, bro?
It says 13
so
moons and 28 days on all turtle
On
shells.
all turtle shells. I've been counting all turtle shells, bros, back for fucking since I got this.
Wow.
13 moons in 28 days. So
Damn.
13 months with 28 days, just like the calendars are proposing, bro. On all turtle shells. In there. It's there.
364 days plus
Yeah.
1 day of rest.
All indigenous people around the world knew the wisdom of the turtle and followed the 13-month calendar. After all, there are 13 moon cycles in a year with 27 to 29 days per cycle.
Turtle Island. Shout out to Dan Calloway.
Isn't that amazing? Then, of course, it goes down there and it has to demonize white people. It's almost as if the white man subtracted 1 month in order to sever the connection between people
Stop
and the
stealing
sun,
months, nigga.
moon and stars, which are themselves a giant clock. But it does make a good sense.
Oh man,
Listen,
good find, bro.
the connection between the people and the sun, moon, and stars, which are themselves a giant clock. So we're all connected as a giant clock. But yeah, this part right here was awesome. That's why I wanted to finish with that.
Kush and Chemtrails, the world's most dangerous podcast.